So chapter 63, you already know what time it is. Cue the intro.
G, yeah. Love hurts no matter the person. Some days I still feel I'm broken. I've gone way too far with smoking. I think we should check our doses. I need help with better choices. Some days I still feel I'm broken. I've gone way.
So in chapter 63 of Boruto, we get Boruto, Code, and Kawaki. And at this point, it's Code. Code's marker is under Kawaki. Kawaki doesn't even realize it, but it's going to be somewhat of a pivotal part in the earliest pages of the manga. So at this point, we get to the second panel, and we see Code talking with Ada. Ada at this point is telling Code like he needs to hurry up and take Kawaki, or someone's gonna find him at this point. And she's like, also, like, it probably wouldn't even have mattered because you wouldn't even listen. And then she's like, well, there's this Otsutsuki who's going to be coming, and we know that as Boruto. So as we progress, Boruto gets there, and he has like a shook look on his face. From there, Kawaki is like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? And Boruto's like, like, you're not gonna leave the village. Kind of like Naruto and Sasuke all over again. So after that, Code is just analyzing both of them. And then from there, like I said, they just continue to argue. And it's kind of funny because we get to a certain part where Kawaki is like, I want to basically do what I can to save the Hokage, even if it means giving myself up to Code. And at this point, Boruto is like, no, like, I'm not going to do that. Like, you mean so much not only to the village, but me and Naruto. So after that, Boruto is like, him and Kawaki is still arguing. And Kawaki is saying, like, no, like, the person that wants me isn't Cold, but I'm willing to give myself up. So again, like, you can save Naruto, which what I said in my last video was actually correct, where Kawaki would actually give himself up so that he can practically save Konoha and Naruto. So basically, like I said, that's when the next panel comes, and Ida is having some type of like orgasm because she's like, oh my gosh, like, Kawaki wants to see me, like, and then from there, Boruto is like, yeah, nah, I'm not gonna allow that. Like regardless, I'm not allowing that. So after that, Code, I like how Code looks in this panel, because in this panel right here, he has like this nonchalant look on his face, like, it doesn't matter, you know. And so from there, we progress to the next panel, and that's when we get where Boruto hits Kawaki. And I kind of like how it is, because at this point, when Boruto first met Kawaki, obviously Kawaki was a lot stronger, but now it's like the roles kind of like reversed, and like he just hits Kawaki. Now obviously Kawaki is still hurt from the ass beating that he took from Cole, but still, like, I kind of like it because it's like brotherly love. Like, he's trying to snap him out of it the same way Naruto was trying to snap Sasuke out of it. So we progress to the next panel where Ada again is having like somewhat of an orgasm, because she's like, oh my, like, this is so hot. Like, Boruto and Kawaki, they're like, like fighting over each other's like will, like, like, it's so hot. And so at this point, Cold, like I said, he's just looking nonchalant, but he's actually still communicating with Ida. So he puts his hood on, I guess without them knowing. And from there, they end up that's when the next panel comes. And Cold starts to tell Boruto, like, he is the vessel of Momoshiki. And he starts trying to tell him that, that regardless, he's going to sacrifice him or Kawaki to the Ten Tails, and then the Ten Tails to the Divine Tree. And then after that, Boruto's like, like I'm not really interested in that. Like that's not, that's not what I do. So after that, Code and Boruto, they kind of just stand off, and then from there, Boruto pretty much does like his first attack. But from there, Kawaki is still telling him like, yo, like even with the karma, you can't take him. Boruto is like, man, I don't care about that. Like, I'm the main character, so I'm about to just do me. So after that, like I said, he does the Rasengan, and before that even happens, this dude literally does like a shadow clone because, like I said, he does the shadow clone, and the marker from the beginning, he basically comes behind Boruto and he hits Boruto. But what um, Kawaki doesn't know is that Boruto this entire time used a shadow clone, and that's when Code basically he commends Boruto on that for basically doing that. Boruto for me, it was kind of smart because, like I said, he used the shadow clone to kind of see how Code pretty much fights. And like I said, Code commended him on his fighting style because he was like, it's like fighting a ninja is pretty tight. But that's where he was like, this is kind of like your downfall of that. From there, Cole just started beating the hell out of him. One-sided fight. Kawaki was like, see, I told you you're not going to beat him. You should have just let me go willingly, and, this wouldn't have happened. From there, Code was just telling him, about the osusification, where the vessel basically over time learns the abilities of the Otsutsuki, depending on which one it is. They gain their powers, their fighting style, and he was just trying to bring Momoshiki out. It got to one point where in one panel it shows Boruto lit up with chakra, and obviously it's not his because in the bottom part of the panel it shows Momoshiki. The reason why I say that is because it shows a Byakugan, and obviously we know regular Boruto does not have a Byakugan. It's actually Momoshiki, and I think in this case it's going to be where Momoshiki and Boruto is going to be fighting for consciousness, right? Momoshiki wants to take over Boruto's body completely, sacrifice anyone who can be of beneficial to the Ten Tails, and then Ten Tails to the Divine Tree. That's Momoshiki's plan, right? But obviously, it's not gonna happen because of episode 1. And now, like I said, looking at the manga, I believe that in the next chapter, we're going to see Boruto and Momoshiki fighting over consciousness. And I think Code is going to look at that and take into that as far as his white karma mark. And that's where I believe Code will have some type of resolve where he's going to try to see if he can manifest some type of Osuki or even Ishiki to his white karma mark. Because, like I said, the white karma mark is his legacy and his pure power stated by Ishiki. So I believe in the next chapter we're going to see Momoshiki and Boruto fighting over consciousness in the heat of the battle, obviously. So like I said, that's just pretty much the end of the chapter. I'll see y'all next month as far as reviewing the chapter. Like I said, comment, like, and subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.